As a fan of Star Wars, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the former DC Cinematic Universe, I've always been interested in our representation in those movies and TV shows. Even though some people like to tell us that you don't have to see yourself in a movie in order to enjoy it, I think that's kind of a nonsensical statement. If we wanted to enjoy the great sci-fi novels and TV series of history, we had to get used to not seeing ourselves pictured on screen or on the pages. So when we see ourselves represented, it's a moment of joy for us, initially. On the other hand, when we see ourselves underrepresented, or when our representation lacks the same development as other groups receive with their characters, we have a problem. In a previous video on the MCU's subpar representation for Black characters, I talked about the NAACP report on the lack of Black executives, and I feel that plays a role here with this topic. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there have only really been 5 Black male characters of note. The first was Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, of course. The second was War Machine, or James Rhodes. The third was Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon, who first appeared in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. The fourth was the Black Panther, or T'Challa, and the last was Eric Killmonger, introduced and killed in the first Black Panther movie. I'm holding out hope for Jonathan Majors Kang, but time will tell. With the untimely death of actor Chadwick Boseman, his character, T'Challa, was shelved. Marvel made that decision not to recast the character and therefore getting rid of an original, organic Black character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Eric Killmonger, played by Michael B. Jordan, was a villain who also received cohesive character development on screen, earning him the spot as one of the few truly nuanced villains in the MCU. But we have a problem. Both T'Challa and Eric Killmonger are dead. I would also like to add a 6th person to this list, and that's the High Evolutionary from Guardians of the Galaxy 3. But just like Eric Killmonger, he was introduced in the movie and killed by the end of the movie, so I have no idea if they ever plan to bring him back in any kind of way. That leaves us with Rhodes, Sam Wilson, and Nick Fury. Again, Jonathan Majors Kang is iffy until his trial is over. I've already done a video on Nick Fury entitled A Life Less Fury. You can check it out on my channel. The link is in the description. I've also done a video highlighting Don Cheadle, the actor who plays Rhodey, complaint that we know nothing about his character. That link is also in the description. With his Disney Plus series changed over to a single theatrical movie, and with hints in the Secret Invasion series that the Rhodey we witnessed so far is a Skrull, I don't have much hope for his character receiving full treatment either. But I want to talk about Sam Wilson in this video, who assumed the mantle of Captain America and had his own show on Disney Plus, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It was with his example that we truly saw how Marvel fumbles on doing justice to a main Black character. In the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show, we are treated to episodes where the second title character, the Winter Soldier, gets full character treatment. Not only do we have flashbacks and understand what his central dramatic problem is, we also see him working through the issue while overcoming his own sub-villain to be the person that he desires to be.
See, he gave you that shield and you threw it away like it was nothing. So maybe he was wrong about you, and if he was wrong about you, then he was wrong about me.
It's storytelling at its best and highlights the Falcon's lack of a comparable character treatment. And because it is done in the same show, you can clearly see the difference in the treatment of characters. Now, I know some in the community have stated that they don't trust Anthony Mackie's acting skills. And because of that, some have actually said they don't need to see any background info or flashbacks for the Falcon. But while making those comments, these same individuals also cheered and applauded all the background information and flashbacks and even the coming to Jesus moment in the Falcon and Winter Soldier series that involved Sebastian Stan, who plays Bucky. Let's put this in perspective. Not only does the Winter Soldier get a full character treatment and resolution of his central dramatic problem in the show, but we already knew about his character since his first appearance in Captain America: The First Avenger. He comes back in Captain America: Winter Soldier, and he's central to the storyline in Captain America: Civil War. In each movie, we see more of Bucky's background and what was done to him. We've had no less than 3 movies dedicated to showing us his character. Still, when it came to the Disney Plus show, we get even more background and flashbacks and character development for Bucky. When you compare this to the amount of time devoted to Sam Wilson's character, his background, and where he's coming from, it's almost embarrassing. Let's be clear about something. I feel that Anthony Mackie is capable of doing a good performance. I've seen him in other movies where he's been the main character and his range of acting skills is fine. If DC can take a former wrestler like John Cena and have him emote all over the screen in his new show, Peacemaker, and have everyone rave about it, surely Anthony Mackie can also rise to the occasion and become a leading man. I don't accept that he can't perform more complicated and in-depth character scenes in his own show. Marvel just chose not to do it. Plus, they don't have a choice. They made him the new Captain America, so he has to assume that mantle. Again, subpar representation lends itself to an unstated assumption of inferiority and less ability on the part of the black actor or actress. In this case, even people in my community have assumed Anthony Mackie is less capable of acting than someone like John Cena. Really? So why is there this glaring absence of a full character treatment for Sam Wilson? It's obvious that all these major franchises still have serious problems fully realizing black male characters. Well, black characters, period. The one bright spot, in my opinion, is the Cyborg character in the Doom Patrol show. We get flashbacks, we get full details of who he is as a person, his relationship with his father. We even have an episode devoted to meeting his childhood friends and how Cyborg's change has affected their friendship. The level of character development and growth is astonishing when compared to the MCU. And shout out to Zack Snyder, who worked with Ray Fisher, the guy who played Cyborg in the Justice League movies. Snyder's cut put back all the character development that Josh Whedon had eviscerated and totally cut from the movie. To me, they represent Hollywood's hostile attitude towards fully realizing black male characters. They seem to be incapable of doing it for whatever reason. And I don't think it's an oversight. It's deliberate, thought-out decision-making at every stage of the game. Or, as the NAACP reported, it's the lack of black executives with the power to say, nah, we're not going to do that. Marvel and the other studios have used concern over bigotry in China as an excuse to downplay black characters in advertisements, promotions, and films. But once China was removed from consideration, what was their excuse then? If you are outside the black community, don't let Hollywood use you as an excuse. Black Panther proved them all wrong. It proved the Ike Perlmutters of the world wrong. Don't let the MCU, DCU, and any other studio and franchise hide behind that narrow-minded thinking anymore. Confront those in your community who use those ideas while hiding behind wrongly hijacked terms like woke. Support movements like Recast T'Challa. And above all, remember the words of the late Gene Roddenberry.
The much maligned common man and common woman has an enormous hunger for brotherhood. They are ready for the 23rd century now, and they are light years ahead of their petty governments and their visionless leaders.
And I would like to add that true genre fans are also light years ahead of narrow-minded executives. We're already demanding more. We just ask that you support us. And history has shown that when you do, everyone benefits.